Hi everybody, it's me Pam here at Lady Pug Kisses Stamp Studio. So I know it has been a while since I have uploaded on YouTube, and I do apologize. I tried a couple weeks back and I don't know, my phone wouldn't let me. So it kept I think the internet or something. We were having a storm. So I got discouraged, obviously, but I'm back and I'm going to try and get this one done right. So today we're going to do something called a floating elements card. My upline sent me a card last week, and it was so stinking cute. So I asked her what it was called, and then I did some research, and I think I know what I'm doing now. So here we go. So we've just got a few more days of our catalog before we move on to the next catalog. So some of the products that I'm using today are going to be part of some of the last chance items. So if you don't have those last chance items, such as this beautiful paper called Expressions in Ink, you might want to head over to either your demonstrator, or if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, but just head on over to Stampin' Up and get your order in before May 2nd. But look how pretty these are. They are so pretty. So this is the one we're going to be using today, and here's the back side. So pretty. This pink is so gorgeous. And there's the other side. So these are just really pretty, gorgeous paper. This is the paper. Oh, wait, no, I must have used that one. This is the paper my upline used to make the card, and like I said, I fell in love with it. So you can use just DSP. You can use just regular cardstock to make this card, whatever you want. So we're going to start with our cardstock. We're going to get it cut down real quick. So let's see, we're going to cut it down to 4 1/4 inches. That's just in half. This is a standard piece of cardstock, actually. No, 5 1/2. See, it's been a long morning already. So we're cutting it in half. This is an 11 1/2 by 5 1/2. Wait, 11 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing a video today. So 11 by 8 1/2. We're going to cut it in half at 5 1/2. There we go. And we're going to put this one aside. We don't need it right now. So then we're going to score this one in half at 4 1/4, because it was 8 1/2 by 11. So there we go. We're going to score it, and that's with our light blade, or light on. The dark is for cutting, the light is for scoring. Just think of it. The darker, the deeper. Yeah, that's it. All right, so I'm not quite done yet. I am actually going to get a piece of white cardstock. Okay, and whoops. This is just, forgot to grab it. This is just regular basic white. And again, we're gonna cut it down to 5 1/4. So we're gonna layer this on top of the other one. So 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. And that's just gonna give us a really nice border on our evening evergreen cardstock. So we're gonna put that aside. Alrighty, what else are we gonna start or do real quick? I'm just getting everything prepped. I'm Probably should have had all this stuff done already, but I didn't. Then I think I'm going to cut my gold piece down. We're going to literally cut this out. So I just want to make sure that it's going to be big enough for our leaf. So, and this die is from the Artistically Inked, Artistic Dies. So I want to say this particular set is staying in the catalog, this bundle or set, but it's not going to be a bundle anymore. So if you want it as a bundle and save 10%, you're going to need to get that ordered by the 2nd. So there we go. All right, so we've got that. We're going to run that through the die cutting machine in just a minute. I don't know why I keep trying to put my slicer dicer behind me. It never goes behind me. All right. Oh, and I still need the slicer dicer. So we're going to cut up this beautiful paper. I know, a shame, a shame, a shame, a shame. So I just want this piece over here, just right in here. So don't worry, we're not going to waste any of this. It's just that I just want this piece right there. So there we are. All right. So let's see, how are we going to do this? I think I'm going to do it this way. First of all, I'm going to cut some of these off because, like I said, I can use these, especially with the back. So I'm going to cut it about right there. And then over on this other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Probably about maybe there. And put those aside because I will use them. Now, I have this window sheet here. So, let's see here. I don't need this one as big. So we're going to do about right there, I guess. And don't throw your pieces away. You can use them. At least I know. All right, so here's what we're going to do is we're going to just take, and you can make these as skinny or as long as you, or as wide as you want them. I think I'm going to go with about a little over 1/4 of an inch. Maybe a 1/2 inch. Yeah, I'll do a 1/2 inch increments. So we're just gonna sit here and slice these at a 1/2 inch until, now I try and keep these in the same order as they're slicing. So because of the designer series paper. Now, if it was just cardstock or something like that, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But because of this, you know, swirl design and stuff, I want to keep those all in that order. So I'm literally laying them over here beside me in the same order as I'm slicing them up. So there we go. And one more. I think I'll just cut this one in half. Yeah, it won't be as wide as the other ones, but that's okay. There we are. So we're just going to move these over a little, one at a time. There we are. There. Now we're going to find our piece we just cut off. Oh boy. How did I do that? There it is. All right. I'm going to move this real quick. We might not need that. Yeah, we might not need them. All right, so here's the thing. we're going to take your glue or tape runner, and in the same order, we are going to take these, and we're up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my silicone sheet underneath this, because otherwise I'm going to make a big mess. Alrighty, there we go. I'll have things sticking to everything. So, and there's a little piece that's a little over, so I'm going to just roll that over. All right. And we are going to, sorry, I've got OCD just a little. Okay, and then we're just going to lay this on here like this. And we're going to do the same to the other one until we're all done. There we are. Now you can, and this is another thing, you can go with your gaps as large or as small as you want them. I'm just going with about 2/8 of an inch in between. I figured that would be a good spacing. And I wish I would have had this done already. I just didn't think. But you can fast forward through this part if you think it's too boring. So there we go. This is such pretty paper too. I love this paper. But you know what? I had a chance to look in the new catalog, and there is some really gorgeous paper. I'm not sure I want to do a paper share. If you want to do a paper share, let me know, and I will get you in contact with my upline, because I know she's doing a paper share, and she's fantastic, and she's better at this whole Stampin' Up thing than I am. So I would be okay if I didn't have you as a customer, because she's awesome. But if you want to be in an In Color Club that starts next month, that I've got options that it's a little bit more affordable than most, because the way I'm going to do it, I'm doing it as a basic 5 months, which you would get the ink pad, the color card, the same colored cardstock as the ink, the refill, and the ribbon. The first for the first 5 months, that's what you'd get, all of the same color. The 6th month, I believe you would buy like the twine and the markers, a set of 5 markers, and something else. And then the last month you'd get the last remaining parts of the collection. And so I went over like a lot on that one on the edge, and then when I rolled it off my thing, it rolled under, so I had to correct that. Now, yes, this way. And so it's like I said, it's just spread out through 7 months instead of 5 months. So it makes it a lot cheaper when it comes to monthly. And if you want more information, go to my YouTube, or not YouTube, but my Stampin' Up or Facebook page. See, I should have stayed off. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Emboss machine. And so if you go to my Facebook page, I've got a thing on there that is, ooh, I hope this is big enough. Let me see first. Let me see. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, because, yes, but I don't think it's going to be big enough. I mean, if I did it one at a time, it would be. No, it wouldn't. You know what? I'm going to have to use my big one. But that's all right. Just a second. I thought it was going to be big enough, but it's not. So I got a little blurb on there that kind of explains everything and what you'd be getting for free from me as my thank you gifts. And you can opt for just the 5 months or just the 6 months or all 7 months. And I think, yeah, or all 7 months. But you'd have to let me know ahead of time. You know what? I want some of this color in there. So I think I'm going to go with this way. So I want it to be on there. There we go. And this will still fit. Yeah. So I have to let me know how many months you want, because the gift depends, or some of the gift depends on how many months you sign up and how much you get. So like I said, if you sign up for the 5 months, you'll get a quarter pack of DSP free from me. If you sign up for 6 months, you'd get a half. But if you signed up for the 5 months, then you would get a full pack. So it would just be better that way. I mean, I'd hate to punish somebody for not signing up for everything all at the same time. So, okay, there we go. I want some of that. I want more of that little gold in there. I could go back in there and do another dot if I really wanted to. And I might just do that because I have. There we go. Might be easier if I just took some of my little stuff up here and pasted it down, huh? That way I know it's not moving around. Isn't that why I save all that stuff for you guys? There you go. And I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to see if I can't do a bigger one, but I doubt it. Alrighty. Let's see here. What I got over here? Those ones are stitched. I don't want a stitched one, so let me see what I can do. There we go. Those are so cute so far. They're just so stinking cute. Let's see here. Let's see. Is this one? Look at that, you guys. Look at that. I think it's going to fit. Yes. I want. Yeah, there we go. Yep. And I'm getting 3 of them in there instead of just 2. There we are. All right, I'll get this monstrosity out of the way. All right. That, I'll put this over here as well, since we don't need it. Oh. Of course, you're not cooperating with me today. All right. All right, people. All right. Might bring that back in a second. But... all right. Let's see, we've got 3 little round dots. So cute. And see, the back would have been pretty too, but you can see the glue, so, you know. All right, now, see here. Oh, now we'll get our smaller one out. I forgot to cut this one. So let's get that real quick. I love this little guy. He's just so convenient. I want to grab it, gravitate towards it more often than the big one. So, see here. I want to keep them inside the little lines. There's little lines here. And then I want to scatter them just a smidge because it seems to go through easier. Come on. Maybe I don't have them scattered enough. Maybe I don't want to have to go through get my big one out. So let's see here. Oh. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. Let's see, move you all the way down here. There we are. Here we are. Scatter it. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Put this in there. That way it doesn't move while I'm trying to do this. Yeah. I swear sometimes this stuff likes to try and challenge me. Come on. Yep, I'm going to have to do the big one because I can't scatter it enough because it's so long. So I'm going to just do that real quick. I'm still here. I'm going to just run it through the Big Shot so I don't have to bring it back over there. Got it. I know. Oh, I might have to turn the fan on. It's warm today in Kansas. So let's make it go woo woo woo. There we go. All right. So look how pretty that leaf turned out. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, you can buy the gold leaves like this. Some of them, not all of them, but you see all these little guys? We're gonna have to poke them out with our Take Your Pick tool. I have this other tool, I just don't know where it is. I don't wanna look either, so we're just gonna poke these guys out. Doesn't take but a few seconds. Maybe a minute, which I guess is still kind of a few seconds, right? There we go. Just getting them just poked out, just ever so. Oh yeah. And look how pretty that's going to be when it's done and on that paper. It's going to be gorgeous. All right. I just love gold. And I love anything foiled. Am I the only one? I could be the only one. Oh my gosh. So my puppy has went and got another ulcer on her eye. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but you know, after I lost my my beloved Isabel back in October, my husband for my birthday in December went and got me another pug, obviously, hence the name Lady Pug Kisses Stamp Studio. So he went and got me another little girl, and I've had many pugs. I've had pugs since I was like 16 years old, and of course there was a spat. I didn't have any dogs because my husband and I were in Hawaii, and I didn't want to have to, like, you know, there's some loops that you have to jump through when you've got animals going to and from Hawaii. So I just decided, you know, plus with my boys being so young, I didn't want to have to. It was a lot of work when you're young and you've got young babies and stuff that, you know, an animal, especially a puppy, is a lot of work. So I didn't get my technically my second pug until my boys were a little older. And then here I am. I'm just going on and on about my babies. But you guys will listen because you guys want to see what this card looks like, right? But so I had this one, and it was a funny story how I ended up with them. My husband was stationed in Washington State, and I'm from California. So we had drove back in August. And all you California people know how hot it gets in California in August. So she had one of her dogs had puppies, and she's like, you can have pick of the litter. And I'm like, oh yeah, yay, but I'm not gonna be. And plus he was the litter was so young. I think they were like 3 or 4 weeks old, which to me, I've taken care of puppies. My mom she bred pugs when I was younger. She stopped, but so when I was young, I used to bottle feed puppies, and that's how my first pug, Rambo, I kept him alive because he was the runt, and he was actually literally being starved by his siblings. And so I took him and I bottle fed him and I raised him. So it's not like I didn't know how to do that, and she knew that. But with the heat, I didn't want to chance, you know, driving, what was it, like 15, 16 hours from where my family was in California to where we were stationed at in Washington State. And so I'm like, yeah, no, Mom, I can't unless you hold on to it. And she's like, but I'll be attached to it by then. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to say. So she's like, well, I'm not going to breed anymore. So if you'd like, you can have the daddy. And he was only 8 years old. And I'm like, okay. So I told everybody for many, many years that I stole him, and because he was just the best boy ever. And I'm like, yeah, I stole him from my mom. But he was so great. So I'd say it was about 11 years later, my mom decided for my birthday, she's going to get me a puppy, because she knew that mine was getting old. And her philosophy and thought on the process is that you should always have your a new puppy before you lose one. It's just easier, she says. So so she got me this puppy, and we were stationed in Great Lakes at the time, and and so there we go. So we've got our elements together here. And so let's see here. Oh, there it goes. Evening Evergreen. So we were stationed in Great Lakes at the time, and it was a bad birthday for me. I had broke my foot. I did, like the day before before my birthday, I broke my foot. Oh my gosh. So now we're using Artistically Inked, since we're using basically the bundle. Yeah. So I'm going to get probably this thanks. Yeah, we'll just do thanks. I need thank you cards. I mean, you can never have enough thank you cards, right? So So she knew that we would be, because we were transferring back up to Washington State. So she knew that that by the time that puppy was ready, then we would be coming through, right? So my birthday's in December, and we were transferring out in April. So she wasn't going to get too attached to this puppy. So I'm just going to put this thanks right down here at the bottom. Hopefully I didn't roll and make a halo. We're about to find out. No, but it's not like it. I'm going to hopscotch double dutch flip this over because I want a really dark image. There we go. Let me just make sure. And so she, like I said, perfect. Like I said, she got me this puppy, and I was so in love with her. I just stamp off because it just makes my trips to the bathroom to clean my chamois less. I don't have to get up as often out of my craft room, which is a good thing because every time I get up, my dogs think they have to get up with me. And then they expect something like food. So we've got that. And we're going to get our cardstock, and we're going to just run our bone folder here. And so I had her, and I was just like in love with her. The first time I seen her, I just loved her. But she was sick. She was born sick. We didn't know it. She had something called a liver shunt. And so she died before her 3rd birthday. I was heartbroken, just devastated. And so between my boys, who were basically all grown up at the time, one was in the Navy, one was like 16. My husband was in Afghanistan, and they all got together somehow, which is really weird because it's hard to, you know, when your husbands are on deployment and stuff like that, for them to talk to your boys, you know, because usually you're going to be the one answering the phone. And but I was working, and so they got together somehow while I was working, and they planned this thing where they were going to get me a dog. They got my brother-in-law involved too. I love my brother-in-law, but he's if there's a way for him to make a buck, believe me, he is going to. So I love that, but you know what? I'm thinking it might be too much. So I might just go here and then here. Oh yeah, that's going to be much better. And so if there's a way for him to make money, he's going to do it. So he and all my boys were getting together, and they were going to get me this dog, and my brother-in-law found one. He found a pregnant female, and he's like, "Hey man, if I got this pregnant female pug, would you like, you know, take care of the puppies, you know, since I work?" And I'm like, I guess, you know, I was just like, you know, I guess. But I told my husband, I'm like, because then my husband's like, "Hey, can you give my brother X amount of money?" And I'm like, "For what?" And he's like, "For a camper for my truck." And I'm like, "A camper? You've always said that those things like reminded you of old men, you know?" And he's like, "It's my money." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not saying you can't have a camper. I'm just saying that, you know, it's just kind of weird that you're asking for a camper and you want your brother to buy it for you." And I'm like, you know, but then he's like, I'm like, "Okay, well," I go, "Well, you know what your brother's wanting me to do?" And she's like, "Oh my God, no, that money's for a puppy for you." And I'm like, Well, you better explain that to him. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll find my own. I'll find my own puppy, is what I was saying. You know, so I'm going to get my glue here, guys. And I'm also going to get my dimensionals and some scissors because I might have to cut those down. And so at that point, I was on a mission. And I was on a mission, and I found this lady who had some pugs nearby, and there we go. I think I want it to go like that. Do I want all 3 bubbles? I'm not sure if I want all 3 bubbles. Ooh, you know what? I think I like all 3 bubbles. Yeah. Alrighty. So, how are we going to do this? I think we're going to grab it like this and then flip it over. And I'm going to add just little dots of glue in there. And I'm going to try and get the glue where I know that it's going to be hidden. There we go. This dries pretty quickly, so I'm going to get my silicone mat and put it over here and just let it dry a second. And get this ready. I think I'm going to glue them together first. Or do I want all of, you know, this one might be enough, and I can use this one for another card. Yeah, see, I'm thinking now. Now again, I think I'm going to go in here with, I think it's coming out this side over here. So I'm just going to put just a smidge of glue. Doesn't take much. And you know what? I got glue there. I'm going to clean it up real quick. The whole reason for the window sheets is so you don't see the hot mess behind it. So, okay, there we go. Let's see here. Oops. I may have to do that a different way. Okay. Maybe I'll just take glue dots. Maybe. Or maybe not. That might work there. Yeah. But I'm going to get a glue dot anyhow because I can. Alrighty, so. And so like I said, I did my research. I found a little female. I had to drive to get her in the rain. We are talking Washington. Rains all the time. So I went and I got her. And it was love at first sight, obviously. If you guys ever, I'm going to get another glue dot here. Ever got a puppy, it's like, oh my God, I fell in love with her. And she just controlled my life. I was the happiest person in the world for 13 years until she passed back in October. I've got a little old man. His name's Artie, and but he was supposed to be my husband's baby. But obviously, he's my baby. There we go. Now we're going to get some dimensionals back here. So, let's see here. There. I'm going to try to get them on our little that's why I did 1/2 inch, because these are about 1/2 inch. So there we go. Even though I think I've got enough on there. There we go. So, like I said, she was my perfect little companion until I lost her. And my husband got me this one. Love her too, but boy, is she a handful. I know this is going to go through the meter at the post office. That's why I'm balancing it really well. So those rollers are not a forgiving machine for some of these cards. So, oh, did you just see how I just threw that? I just threw it. I don't need you no more. Get out of here. So here we go. And about right here. There we go. I think, oh, you know what? I think I want one right about there. Sometimes I over-dimensional. Sometimes I do. But that's okay. When it comes to dimensionals, it's okay to OG or OD. Over-dimensional. Yeah, OD. So, other than that, you don't want to OD on anything. But you can OD on your dimensionals. So, there we go. I'm just using my Take Your Pick tool to kind of collect these little backings on here. Keeps them all in one little place and makes it a little bit easier to get them off. I love my Take Your Pick tool. There we go. Now, we're gonna get this one here. This is the fun part, finding out where you want it. There we are. Look how pretty that is. I think all I want now are some like little gold or green dots. So let's see what we can find in our arsenal of bling. So, no. No. Ooh. Maybe. Let's see here. Oh, I think so. These ones, I don't know if we still have them. They're called garden gems. If they are, they're probably in our last chance. So you might want to get over to the last chance that I was talking about earlier. So these are kind of really pretty because they're little iridescent. So they're gonna pick up some of the color. So yeah. And there. And there. Come on. No, there you go. So what do you think? Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Floating elements technique is what it's called. So, so pretty. And I will show you my uplines card, which it is so super similar. So super similar. See? So this is my idea, the one I got my idea from, which is from my upline, Debbie Damford. You can find her here on YouTube as well. She does something called 10-Minute Tuesdays. So you won't even have to be on as long as you are with me, with her. So you can catch her. And this was hers. And this is mine. So super similar. She's got, I think she like ran this through the embossing folder, and I didn't. I kept mine smooth. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go, and you guys have a great afternoon, and I will catch you another day. All right, bye, guys.